Hello and welcome to our channel where we talk about enlightening and provocative issues. The topic for today is true crime. Does it desensitize? Today's society, where actual crime has established itself as a popular kind of entertainment, makes this topic especially pertinent. From books to movies to TV shows, true crime has long been a well-liked storytelling genre. But with the emergence of streaming services like Netflix and Hulu, true crime is now more widely available than ever. Despite the fact that many people find true crime films and podcasts to be fascinating, some claim that they may make us less sensitive to crime and violence. 1. Desensitization to violence. The possibility that genuine crime normalizes violence and crime is the first thing to take into account. The violence and brutality that are frequently included in true crime stories desensitize us when we watch or listen to them. As a result, we can begin to consider crime and violence to be normal parts of life, which might cause us to feel no sympathy for victims. The consumption of violent media, especially genuine crime, has been linked to desensitization to violence, according to research. According to a study that was published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology, viewing violent media reduced the body's natural and emotional reactions to violence. There may be detrimental effects from this desensitization to violence. It may also increase the likelihood that people may act violently themselves. It can result in a lack of empathy for victims. Given the surge in violent crime in many parts of the world, this is especially worrying. 2. Fear and paranoia. The second thing to think about is the possibility that actual crime will instill apprehension and paranoia. Watching true crime stories can give some individuals an adrenaline rush, but it can also make some people terrified and suspicious. This may have a detrimental effect on one's mental health and general well-being. According to studies, watching violent media can make people more fearful and anxious. Anxiety and terror were found to be positively correlated with exposure to violent media, according to a study written up in the Journal of Broadcasting and Electronic Media. This suggests that people who watch a lot of true crime shows may be more likely to feel fear and anxiety in regular life. This anxiety and paranoia may be harmful to one's mental health and well-being. Increased tension and worry may result, which may have negative effects on both the body and the mind. It may also result in a diminished sense of security and safety in one's day-to-day activities. 3. Glorification of criminals. The glorification of criminals may be influenced by genuine crime, which is the third thing to take into account. The offender, as opposed to the victim, is frequently the main subject in true crime stories. Because of this, criminals may end up being glorified and made to look more fascinating or intriguing than they actually are. According to studies, viewing criminals in a favorable light in the media can improve one's admiration for them. This suggests that people who watch a lot of true crime shows may be more inclined to have a favorable opinion of criminals. This exaltation of criminal behavior could have negative effects. It can result in a lack of sympathy for victims and perhaps increase people's propensity to commit crimes themselves. Additionally, it might cause us to pay less attention to how crime affects victims and their families. Focusing on the experiences of the victims and their families is one method to tackle true crime in a respectful and thoughtful manner. We can increase awareness of the effects that crime has on people and communities by showcasing their stories. This may even encourage more support for victim services and resources. It can also serve to foster understanding and compassion for victims. The issue of whether watching true crime makes us less sensitive to crime and violence has been covered in this discussion. We have looked at some of the possible dangers of consuming genuine crime, such as the normalization of violence, anxiety, and paranoia, and the glorification of criminals. But we've also spoken about how to watch true crime in a responsible and thoughtful way, like concentrating on the narratives of the victims and their families and balancing our viewing with other media that uphold ethical standards. As always, we advise our audience to be aware of the media they consume and how it may affect their mental health and general well-being. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more introspective conversations on a variety of subjects. Thanks for watching.